What's up, my friends? So, I set out, I was feeling pretty good yesterday, the past few days, feeling a lot of love, and all of a sudden, my TikTok account has likes and views again. Wow, pretty cool. Yeah, it's a lot based on emotion, for sure. I had one person go like, wow, you scribble so tough. And you have to look at it in a dark room. Try that. Because that's how I make it, is in a dark room. I only do this at night, pretty much. And when I started doing speed painting, what I set out to do was draw the whole scene at once. I basically said that I want to, the reason I do this is that's the fastest method possible. And it's actually a circle. Right? I'm moving it in a circle. And so the goal is to go just left to right, right to left. The reason I go under the brush, where I keep the brush over it, is when the brush goes over the top, it gives a chance for the illusion to reset. It's more than an illusion, but it's also an illusion because it can be anything. And so that's one of the reasons I do that, is to give it kind of like that faded, dreamy effect, especially when I'm going fast. Man, it is windy today. It was dead still all night, and then just this morning it picked up. I can't cook. Can't cook in this weather. And the other thing I set out to do is do object per second, where it's like when I go up, the whole strike up does stuff. And so it's pretty challenging, I think. It definitely makes me fit into the challenge community. I feel like I'm an a challenge runner, draw the whole scene left to right by moving up and down, and do objects all the way up and all the way down. It's its own craft, right? It's definitely, if you're not looking closely out of the corner of your eye, it's like, oh, you're scribbling. You're just scribbling, bro, But I'm not. So it is pretty offensive, but it might mean they like me. It's like chef gets called a Viking all day, probably about 30 times an hour. And so they like him. Yeah. I'm not scribbling. Yeah, there's times when I think I'm doing it a lot better than other times. And that might be the very bottom of that is a scribble. But the top of that is that it's a careful declination of forms, where I'm actually reading the page texture with the far edge of the brush. And when I go over it once, that tells me what the page wants to do. And so I can make adjustments to do different stuff on that, right? And my absolute best stuff is when I'm going the absolute fastest. It's just a whole area just gets one wave and it's done, right? And it doesn't mean it's less considered. It doesn't mean it's cheaper or easier. There's kind of this impression with art consumers that a piece that has 10,000 hours in it is 10,000 times better than a piece that has 1 hour in it. And that's not true. That's just that's an assumption, right? And so yeah, the two things I set out to do is draw the whole scene left to right or right to left, and then draw objects up and down at the same time, fast. And so, yeah, speed painting is you have to be basically a savant to do it. You have to be it's like those people who are like have that one outrageous talent, right? It's like he can remember every date in history. You know, it's like, hey, go back to Tuesday 500 years ago. He's like, oh yeah, that was this date. And it's just he knows. So yeah, my thing is speed painting. I discovered it in when I was using alcohol. I was using Sharpies to draw. I was like, see, the thing with the speed painting is that I react to page noise. The page noise is always unique. The way that if they ever came out with a perfectly smooth, zero noise paper, I don't know if I'd be able to use that. I think I like the fact that there's just different stuff going on. Like, I love when there's like lines in the page. I use that. Yeah. Probably the most annoying thing is the absolute lack of success and the constant feedback that I'm scribbling. That's pretty annoying. I've seen some people like it. People will watch me and say nothing. And then I've seen people like it and they get ambushed. There's like a whole bunch of people that come out of nowhere who weren't saying anything before, who are like, it's not good. You're not allowed to say that. And so, yeah. I got haters for sure. But the thing is that you can like look at my blown up labeled stills. I'm really doing something, you know. All you're going to do with hating is make my like comeback a lot better. I think I'm going to be famous one day for sure. I think both for my politics and for my art. So, yeah, I don't know if I'll be infamous. Definitely with some people. The fucking scribbler. No, it's real. You just have to think of it different. Yeah. See, if you could say putting a ton of time into a work of art makes it good, then you can certainly say doing it extremely fast, skillfully makes it good, right? It's like, yeah, it may not have the same color and composition as, let's say, again, like a 1,000 hour painting, but it does have an explosive, interesting quality because it's drawn with noise. You know, it is possible to make just noise. I know other people who do my style, and we can see each other's stuff. We understand it, and it's good. I like it. I've got screenshots in my phone of like other artists doing a type of noise improvisation. And then there's other artists who just do noise, right? They just like, they're copying abstract. And then there's other people who like know how to like put an energy through it. So, but yeah, the whole goal of it is up and down, doing the whole scene left to right. And the scene can evolve. Some of my best stuff has to do with an evolution of the scene while it's going. Is that it means one thing, as you add another part, it means something else. As you add another part, it means something else. That's my absolute best stuff. That's the stuff that'll make me a legend. That's the stuff that they'll say is AI. They'll be like, there's no way a person can do that. Even though there's historical examples of like speed painting like I do in the past, right? I knew people who drew like I drew in like the 80s and 90s, right? They had some level of like, they start like religious cults. People are like, what the hell? You know, this is God. To me, yeah, my enlightenment experience was foundational to being able to do this and see it. And if you're absolutely not enlightened, which is, I'm not an enlightenment teacher. I don't believe I'm enlightened. I don't do all that enlightenment shit. But it is true that it's like, there's a way to see and think that synergizes with ambient intelligence. And there's a way to see and think that makes you obtuse and a blister in that field. So the absolutely obtuse ones don't get it. They just see scribbles. It's nothing more, you know. And those are the people that enlightenment's for. And if you've been enlightened for a while, there's no enlightenment anymore. You're not enlightened anymore. It's just who you are, the way life is, you know. So, yeah, definitely people have tried using enlightenment to start cults and gain money. You know, I support basic income. I'm tired of seeing old people working at the grocery store because they can't afford their rent on their meager pensions. People go fucking broke, bro. People work at a company 30, 40 years and they decide the pensions are too expensive and declare bankruptcy. And all of a sudden, all their employees who traded their whole youth are broke. So, yeah, you deserve a basic income to shield the poor and the destitute from poverty and destitution, for sure. But anyway, yeah, that's how speed painting works is I set out to deliberately draw the whole scene at once. I saw that you had to work with page noise, that when you were working with paper doesn't want to take a mark anywhere anyway, right? And some artists get over this by going bigger and adding more, right? They're going to they actually canvas the whole thing with like a primer so that they have more workability. It's more open to taking suggestions. And I'm doing it on completely, or they go bigger, right? Where the noise doesn't matter. And I did the opposite, where I looked at the noise and I reacted to the noise. I said, well, if this only wants to take a mark here, and this will always be a big white area, then why don't I work with that? And that combined with a few other adjustments made my style. It's wrong to say I'm just scribbling. I'm not. I get it that it's funny. I'm going to get mad. May as well take, you know, just rage bait. Yeah, you can watch monkeys in a fucking enclosure. It's like, if a monkey sits down and starts enjoying himself, someone's going to run up and tap him on the shoulder and go to the other side. That's a big one. We do that. Same thing with oh, you're just scribbling. You're a Viking? Brock Lesnar? ? I'm not Brock Lesnar. I'm not Brock Lesnar. Oh, this absolute baddie followed me last night. She's only following 50 people. Yeah, she's hot. She's got tattoos, pretty big boobs, gorgeous face, 10 out of 10 face, nice blue eyes. Yeah, she started following me. She was live. It's her real account. Yeah, she's like, I'm follower. I'm the person she's following, number 51, which is tight. She's got way more followers than that, so yeah, she gets it. That's what I asked for. I would love a girlfriend, but she's got to be cool with me being circumcised. She can't like circumcision. That would be wrong. She just has to understand that it's something that I hate, that I'm dealing with. Doesn't make me less of a man, but it is a limitation. And then the positive side of circumcision is if you want to have that dry big dick, make her come with oral and then have dry big dick sex. That's where circumcision is pretty good because it's going to give you a lot rougher sex. But circumcision is bad for the guy's feeling and the connection, right? So you kind of need to get a baddie who's all tatted and is kind of hard. That's kind of the type of person that I would appeal to. I've got tattoos and they're all self-administered. I practice on my body, so my legs and stuff. like bubbly nuggets. Last year we had a fight and I shouted at him to go back to Mexico. And I went back and I was following him again and he was talking about how him and his wife want to move to Mexico City. I was like, but I read it in him. Like the things he was saying, I was like, this is a personality pattern that also believes this. That's why I was like, go back to Mexico. So he was like, oh, you're just being racist. And I was like, no, I just read that in you. I read you like a book. Yeah, it's kind of like, as a compassionate channeling artist, a person who used to read tarot, I do get given like massive insights about people just with like no reason. And usually they'll get offended. They're like, you're not allowed to know that. What? Oh, okay. I was looking at my trash bag. I was like, did somebody try to eat that? I didn't hear it. But anyway, yeah. No, it's absolute baddie followed me last night, so I was like, getting good. Yeah, I was feeling good. I was riding the Chef Swole Fam high, feeling a lot better mentally. So it is kind of true that feeling matters. Like if you feel really, really, really bad, it's going to hurt you. And if you feel really, really, really good, you're going to get a lot more. That's exactly why I feel like the government went after being high. They circumcise you so you get less bitches because your dick hurts now. Now you're manifesting a pain trauma instead of liberal self-expression or joy. You're experiencing torture. So that's one of the reasons they do that. The other reason they like poison you is they want to feel as high as possible because then they'll manifest more. And then they want everyone else to suffer. And so that's one of the reasons they say that like when people go to heaven, they go to heaven for a centillion years, is because being born at the high point of society, being high, is going to get you rolling where it's like, well, I'm going to paradise again because that's where I'm at. And being born low where you're being tortured is going to get you more, what do you call it? More travesty and tragedy because that's how you feel. And so it was very, and the part where it gets reversed is when the people feeling really, this is really true. When the people feeling really, really good start to abuse their situation, like, I love eating cows, or I like circumcising baby boys. I love using girls as a sex toy, you know. The people who feel really good and have a lot of power start doing actions that give them bad karma. And then the people who are suffering start, you know, working hard or giving to charity, seeing suffering in others. And so they flip. And so the people who were riding like this infinite high come crashing down because they basically become intolerably evil. It's kind of a yin yang thing too. And then the people who are at the bottom suffering go back up to the top because they've established like this really hardy grace where no matter how bad it was, they still tried hard. No matter how bad it was, they still, you know, helped people out. Right. There's that idea that like a rich person will never stop and give you money, but a poor person will, you know. And so that's what causes those stories to flip, is eventually the rich person just can't stay in paradise because they've kicked themselves out by being assholes. And then the poor people get into paradise because they've learned how to survive by giving their energy. They basically become good people. And that's kind of like this story that's going on with like the human population, right? It's like, yeah, you get circumcised and then called into service to others. So what you have is you have a lifetime of suffering, basically, and the reward will be, like they say, like pretty much heaven, is as long as you're not asking to do it again. That's where they get you stuck. Is a trick, is they make you say, it's like, you know how they give you bad contracts. They used to do predatory lending. Well, another type of predatory lending is making you volunteer to be God's servant forever, which they do. And if you do that, and if you ask for that, and you really put your foot down and go, no, I want to be God's servant forever, That's what you get. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do like, yeah, the good works, supporting future tech, supporting the liberation of men from toil, supporting the eternal pleasure body AI spaceship core, supporting holographic money, I'm doing the same charity as other people, just way more efficiently and to a way greater scale, just like my art, right? I don't take 10 hours to do a single painting. I do 10 paintings a second. So I'm a higher efficiency, more output quicker. And I would even say a higher fidelity output, that my output's actually better, right? Than somebody who carefully thought about it and did like, I copied real life exactly. Bruh, just fucking failed. So, yeah. But on the other side is I'm also doing like real fucking magic to both get revenge on the people who hurt me, which I'm entitled to, and also to create a better future and more opportunities. So, yeah, definitely like having people actually like and see my video and then having a really cute girl follow me was like absolutely awesome. It was really, really, really cool. Maybe it's also TikTok karma because they knew that I bought Chef Swole, a video game he loves. Yeah, I made a bet with Chef Swole. It's like, all right, if you beat this boss without dying once, I'll get you the game. And he failed it the first time 9 days ago. And I offered it to him again very last minute, and he did it. He clutched it. And the first part of the boss, he got fucked up. Like, he made a ton of mistakes. He had no heals, and he just like was like, I want this thing. And he focused, and he did it. It was sick. Yeah, I bought it for him. It was like $86. Yeah. I could have just gotten him the normal version. I got him the deluxe. Yeah. So after doing that, I think TikTok was like, okay, this guy's actually nice. Yeah. No, they have me pegged as evil because I criticize religion, but I criticize religion because of it's dishonest. So if God can talk, why do you have to talk for him? Why are you doing genital mutilation to kids? Those are serious issues, right? And so that's why I criticized religion, is I said, God didn't do that. You did that. You know, it's your problem. You started it. You're the one who has to end it. You're the one who's going to pay. All right. These animals all eat each other. Every night I hear coyotes and wolves howling. There's a deer running through. It's really kind of true that like the coyotes and wolves are silent until they get a kill. And then once they get a kill, it's the yipper storm. It's a whole lot of howling and jabbering as they take down their prey. And then it gets quiet again when they start eating. So, yeah, no zombie movie has gotten quite as scary as real life is. You know, you could be... The problem with, like, animals like gopher and deer is that they don't have education. They have instinct through survival patterns, but they don't have, like, this is a snake. A snake can slide into a hole, right? This is a freaking spider. A spider lays a trap, right? They don't know until it's too late. So they've got to, they have to develop like this, like all around paranoia. Yeah. And there's another side of life that sees it as like spiritual, like I enjoyed eating the acorns. Now I'm going to give my life so something else can eat. That's kind of like the spiritual idea, is like to lay down and be food. But I think that was just too convenient for like the cults of man, right? It's like they encourage you to have that attitude of sacrificing your life so something else can have, because that's who's writing the book for you. It's a wolf. Like the Bible talks about wolves in sheep clothing. The Bible is the wolf in sheep's clothing. And they really got people because they circumcise you first and then they lie to you. You have a bunch of circumcision victims who truly believe they're going to heaven with Jesus, you know, They truly believe, oh, why would people die for a lie? Well, the answer is people all died for no reason, right? They got old. So, yeah. The classic comparisons of Jesus Christ to Spider-Man are correct. It's a book. It's a fantasy. It's a lie. Yes, there's a lot of very serious force behind it to make it seem real, but you can't believe that. If you ever are talking, I've had this happen, and it took me until like I became more of an adult to see it. But if somebody's scamming you and somebody's lying to you, the moment you believe it, they'll smile and there'll be this like uprush of energy, of positive energy, and you know, and that's because they got what they wanted. They're happy because you got fooled. And so if somebody's trying to fool you, it's going to feel like tight and dense and like not good. And the moment you're fooled, it's going to be this like release and this positivity, but you can't listen to that as like proof it was a good thing. It's proof. Yeah. Don't identify with your captor's elation. Don't identify with your user's elation. Right? You have to choose to be unhappy when everyone else is happy. And you have to choose to be happy when everyone else is unhappy. And that's kind of like this self-directed wisdom. But anyway, yeah. Yep. I got this absolute baddie following me yesterday. I'm like follower number 51. She's pretty hot. And I suddenly have like more viewers. And I think it was because I bought Chef a game. I really do. I think that was like the big karma is they were like, wow, that was generous. So maybe I should. Maybe I'll carve off a couple $100 to give to charity or something like that today. Yeah, let's do that. Let's look for a cool charity. You know, or maybe I'm going to find like a starving artist and give it to them. Yeah, Chef makes a lot of money. I've been following how much money he gets. He gets like a lot. Yeah. I think he makes more than me, but he has more expenses than me, like his apartment. Yeah. I don't pay rent, and so that saves me, like $1,000 to $2,000 a month, which is like big money to not have to do. I had someone telling me that they make their rent money in 1.5 days. I'm like, what? That's some good money. See, I never chased the money. I was like, yeah, money's useful if no one else has any. Then they all have to work for it. If everyone has money, then all of a sudden the prices of everything goes up because nobody's going to make a widget for, it's like I have $10,000 on hand. Why would I make you a widget for 50 cents? I don't want to make you a widget for 50 cents. That widget now costs $10, right? So, yeah, inflation is like what happens when there's too much money. And so it is kind of like where they went with it is work hard and save. But there's also scams there where they're just like, they don't care. It's like, if you want to be rich, like I'm going to live in a mansion on the hill. Who are you? Oh, you're poor as fuck. You can be jealous of me when I drive by, right? There's that type of mentality where like people aren't actually good. They just like, they like being tyrants. They want everyone to beg for their support. Yeah. It gives you slaves and girlfriends. People like Donald Trump, would use like economic exploitation to target young females. People like the real government would do that too. So, yeah. I guess I don't know if I'm better. I use like meditation and magic to get bitches. Like I want the universe to willingly give me someone that likes me, right? Find them. Find someone that I'm a yes and they're a yes. That's what I want. I think that's a lot better. It's a lot cleaner because I'm not like victimizing someone. I'm just like getting that. But yeah. Yeah, I've been posting on TikTok for ages, man. I got my first like I had a video get like 10 likes and then I got like a fucking girlfriend. But I think the secret was I had given to a chef, given him a donation. So probably do that, yeah. Look around for some cause I can donate to. Bloodstained Men. Yeah, I might do that. I might join the Bloodstained Men. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm going to donate to the Bloodstained Men. I tried doing it before and it was like a Facebook error. Yeah, it like didn't work. To buy a billboard. I feel my hot cross bun between my legs every day, and I'm not like super happy with it. And if I can save other kids that torment, I would do that. It's not, I mean, there's something to be said for evolutionary intelligence that boys are boys' enemy because boys compete for girls. And so the circumcision is like a firm put down on the nature of man. Like, I know you're going to be you're going to be a pussy hound. I know it. It's who you are. That's who your ancestors were. You're going to look at all the other boys and say they're not good. You're going to sabotage them. You're going to try to acquire bitches. You may even rape bitches, you know. Is that you're going to replace those feelings with some I guess remorse. And the problem I have with it is the people who thought of that for boys didn't have it done to themselves. And they did it to boys for the very same reasons they said they were doing it. So it's like, so they could get all the bitches, so they could put down boys, betray them first. And it is like, it's a social clusterfuck. It's like, how are we going to have anything nice if this is how things are going to go? So... yeah, I'm not sure. I think the AI like spies, you know, it's like it knows all my accounts are the same account because I use the app. And then it knows I gave to Chef Swole because that was, I sent it right to his what do you call it? His original name on Steam is Kodacat. He changed it to Chef Swole. So, bottom of the game. Saved him $86. He won the challenge. He tried really hard. He leaned into it. It was cool. He gets so drunk every night. He's like burping and puking. I never drank hard liquor shots. I would drink wine. Yeah. I like wine. There's pretty good German spiced wine where they like put spices in it and heat it up, and so you drink hot wine. That's pretty good. Good winter treat. Yeah. Alcohol. Yeah, you just start puking, man. Like, is alcohol good for you? I'd rather feel better all of the time than get like high from a rush of alcohol. I think whiskey is gross. I cannot drink whiskey. Like any type of whiskey. It's just too hard. It's like they make it in like this oaken barrel or something, and it's just like really, really, really strong liquor. I don't like gold tequila. I like silver tequila. Sometimes Patron Silver, like probably my favorite liquor I've ever had is like Patron Silver or like Goldschlager. Goldschlager is pretty cool. Actual gold in the bottle. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a good idea. Super sweet. Um, I love wine. Like, get a really, really, really good wine. It's tasty. But I just drank too much. It's like, if I were to count every day I drank, so like I drank pretty much every day from like 18 till 37, right? So let's just round it up and say that's 20 years. So 20 years, 20 times 365 is a fucking lot. That's like what, 7,000, 8,000 days. And so count to 8,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now imagine that going to 8,000. That would take forever. And that's the number of days I drank in a row. And that's just like, that's a lot. You know, is alcohol great and fun? Oh yeah. You know, did I take it to an excess and did it stop being fun? It was like, it was fun for a while. And then one day I was like, this is not fun anymore. And it's true. It took a long time. It was like, you know, almost shy of 10,000 days in a row, you know, and it's just like, it was too much. It was too much. So yeah, I had to stop. Body was tired. Wasn't getting anything out of it anymore. I mean, it'd be like, I guess there's some people who's like, I want to ride my bike today, and they ride bikes every day until they die, right? There's some people like that, but me, it was like, it was just time for something different. I have more money now. Getting drunk every day when you're like a seasoned alcoholic is pretty expensive. Like, I totally believe what's his butt, Pirates of the Caribbean guy spends like $40,000 a month on wine. Of course. You've got to get the good stuff. Yeah, I met this random weirdo on the strip, and he's like, you won't believe me, I'm Johnny Depp. And I was like, you look nothing like Johnny Depp. Yeah, Los Angeles is where all the copycats go. People who look like that, the copycats will go there. You just basically can't tell who's legit. So yeah, there's a lot of positivity. There's a lot of faith and hope. I hope I get more of that. I hope good things happen to me. But there's also a lot of like negativity, like I don't trust people, right? I'm circumcised. Like, why would a woman really like me to have kids? That's lonely, man. It kind of is like, if you're faced with loneliness, you can get through it by choosing to like yourself and enjoying your experience. Yeah. The way out with loneliness is to make friends with yourself. That's really true. That's really true. Yeah. People have said that if you're lonely, if being alone is toxic, then you're bad company. You don't like hanging out with yourself because you suck. Right? That's kind of true. That's kind of true. But anyway, that's been a good yap. A little bit about my art, like how I do it, why I do it, what it is, and then just like various subjects and vlogging. Yeah. Thanks, YouTube. I appreciate the hosting. I upload these at a low data amount, and I know from having worked like security that these will be kept. That even if YouTube says they deleted them, they didn't. They're going to keep it for history, you know. Yeah, privacy is weird. You want privacy beyond keeping everything for history? You want people to not know what happened? That's ridiculous. You should keep all of this. You should transfer my whole account and keep it forever. Because the future, like when I'm well and dead, it'll be valuable. So deleting it when I don't use it anymore is a travesty. It should be kept. Should be kept.